You here with LaRussell. You're tuned in. I'm on the Bootleg podcast. You know what's going on.
About to get into another interview brought to you by MyBookie. It's holiday season. That means bowl games, NBA in-season tournament, NFL, all going down. Let's make this money right now. If you sign up at MyBookie and use my promo code BOOTLEG, claim your deposit match. That's right. Put a deposit in up to $1,000. They're going to match it. MyBookie.ag. Promo code is BOOTLEG. Let's get to the interview. Bootleg podcast, special guest here. LaRussell's in the building.
We back.
He needs no introduction.
Come on.
The man who's changing the music game, in my opinion. Little by little, it's working. I just saw Dizzy Wright post something today about how he just dropped his project and 200 fans supported it. I think on the same platform you're using. Even. And the crazy thing is he showed the stream equivalency. And that to me, I think it was in his first day, it was like the money he made was like 1.4 million streams worth of money.
Right.
Which is crazy because, these companies are fucking everybody.
Hey, man. It's a tough topic because they're not fucking everyone. Like, streaming is an extra revenue.
But
right?
People are treating it like it's the main one. Is that fair to say?
Exactly. And that's the issue. It's like, bro, they really created something revolutionary. Like, I'm grateful for streaming. Right. I get paid monthly off some shit that I typically
your Spotify
wouldn't.
Is lit.
You feel me?
Right.
But it's like, I get people just great, but it's like, man, they were trying to do something, and they did do something innovative and game-changing.
Right.
It's like, we didn't tell all these niggas to give up their main sources of revenue.
Yeah, we didn't tell y'all to stop selling vinyl and CDs.
Niggas decided to do that collectively, randomly. Right. It's like, bro, why aren't you selling your fucking music?
Because you don't have real fans.
Just like you would sell a T-shirt or any other product, you should be selling your music too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I just had to talk with Queen Nija, who was up here. She's on a major label, and I was like, yo, you got like a vinyl or, tape or anything? Or she's like, nah, actually, I should talk to the label about that. I'm like, you got like real fans. You'll sell 1,000 of those in a week.
Real fans.
Like, what are we doing? Like, it is crazy though, because like you said, like, I saw somebody, it might have been you or it might have been somebody had just brought up the idea of using streaming as a commercial for your music and then taking it off.
Like a trailer type shit.
Like, yo, you'll see how crazy my album is for a month, but then it's gone.
Right.
Now you got to go buy it.
Right.
Which is kind of like the opposite of what, I think people have been doing, right?
I mean, I don't think you have to neglect the market. Like, leave your shit on streaming, but allow people who want to purchase your product to purchase it from you too. You feel me? Like, you don't have to like revolt against something and take all your shit away because you're stealing revenue from yourself. You're not hurting.
You're stealing from your because they're not going nowhere. Yeah. Man, and also you're hurting your opportunity to be discovered. New
marketing.
People.
Streaming is a form of marketing. Yeah. It's like you throw all of your shit in a pool and someone may pick that shit up to where now they want to spend money with you. They want to go to your shows. They want to buy merch. They want to buy whatever you got to offer. They want to buy stock. They want to buy gold cards. Like, your streaming is just marketing that you get paid for.
Right. That's fair. So give me what's the update with you, man? I haven't seen you since I was at your house, which was it was hot outside. I just remember that.
Right.
It was hot as shit.
That was a great show too.
It was an amazing show. You had Shooter Gang Coney out there. What was the 16-year-old kid's name?
Molly.
He came up here.
Came up here. Yeah.
He was so fire. Him and his dad came. He skipped school.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to Modesto,
Necessary, man. Shout out Merced.
Modesto, Merced. God damn it.
No, not the same.
Not the same. Somewhere over there. Kind of over there. They're not too far from each other. They might. Are they far? Oh fuck. Wait, no, Modesto.
Shout out Merced though.
Wait, Modesto's like by Vegas. I'm tripping. Hey man, these little California cities confuse me. But no, it was a special day, man. It was really dope. Your dad was making food.
Right.
Your mom was getting me high.
Right.
I got to check out just like your office and your at-home studio and how you kind of schedule your social media posts with your team. It was an inspiring situation because everybody who I brought with me at some point in time are either artists or, my producer, he was shooting, but he also is an artist and a beat maker and engineer. So it was just dope for everybody to see like, there's another way.
Right? That I love the backyard shows because you get to see so many creatives in motion. Not just my team. It be other niggas filming for their own interviews and podcasts. Just like it's a pool of creativity that you get to witness.
And I think a TV show was there that day. One of the big networks was shooting that day.
Or what? It was CNN. CNN.
Yeah.
CNN. Yep.
Yeah, it was dope, man. But so obviously you've been killing it. I've been seeing a lot of your since then I've watched you on a bunch of platforms talking about the movement. But what is the latest on what's going on with LaRussell, man?
Man, the compound.
It's so much, by the way.
Right. It's a ton of shit. The compound is something I'm really excited about. We building like an artist creative and wellness center. So it got a merch
like
distribution and production facility, editing bay, editing lab. I'm building like a live venue inside of it for real intimate shows, like 100 cap, low key shit. And then we got the content studio that we moving over from our shop. And then our old shop we're turning into like a creative hub that our network will be able to rent and utilize to do all their creative needs. Yeah, niggas just building.
So people are going to be able to, like, if they want to put music out, if they want to get a video done, they could go. You could kind of be one-stop shop. If I need to get my merch ran,
it's a one-stop shop, but it's not like it's for network. Like I'm building infrastructure, so when I find artists like Shantae's over there, someone new that we're helping cultivate, and she's like incredible. So when I find artists that I really love, it's just like. It's easy to integrate them into a system, and we start seeing the following grow immediately, and we just know what to do. So we built all the infrastructure so we don't have to take someone there to get the result.
It's crazy because I feel like Russ was the OG guy who was like telling the truth to rappers, but they were like, Russ is a dick.
Right.
I feel like your message has been a lot more palatable.
Right.
You've inspired, I'm sure, people you don't even know you've inspired at this point.
Man, shit be crazy.
Like big artists. I'm talking about superstars, I'm sure, because your content has been digested at a high
the
level.
labels use my blueprint. Like, there's not too many offices who don't know who I am and what I'm doing and telling their artists.
And they all hate on you. When
same.
Listen, can I be honest with you?
Right, please.
All of these industry guys, because I bring your name up all the fucking time, they are hating on you.
Right.
I'm telling you, they all say the same. Yeah, but he ain't got like a hit. Like, where's the music? And I'm like, what? Like this happens. I promise you, that a version of that conversation's happened at least 20 times.
What's crazy too is like,
and I'm talking about even people in your city. People in your city.
I have I got tons of songs, and like the difference is the amount of money that you're able to put behind a record. Like. Niggas don't understand. Niggas be on label deals and in contracts, and I got 1 million followers and made millions of dollars, and they haven't. But niggas are talking about, oh, you ain't got a hit. Well, you do, and you still don't have what I have. You feel me? Like, that shit don't be making sense and adding up.
It's ego.
It's ego. It's because they can't do it, so they go resort to that. I was talking to someone from a label, and I was telling him, like, we're about to scale to this next level. And he was like, man, I think if you just kind of, if you work on the music side, yada, yada. And I was just like, do you hear the shit that's blowing up? There's not one artist right now who can make a Do That Little Dance, a Family Business. Some of these songs I've made is like, nigga, do you hear what we talk? There's no rap artist who's doing what the fuck I'm doing, and you niggas talking about some music to me with all the stupid shit we hear blowing up. It's like y'all are insane, and the whole industry is like delusional and faking it. These niggas don't like these songs that's being pushed and that's on the radio and that's getting exposed.
No,
they don't listen to them in their car. They don't listen to them at home. You feel me? But everybody's rallying behind this shit and acting like we really. It's just weird. And
it's because everyone has a job,
right? And that's what I've learned.
So all of the people we're talking about are employed.
Exactly.
And it is in their best interest to keep their employment status.
Their job. Man,
push whatever comes across the conveyor belt.
My autonomy this long, like bro was just saying before he walked out, he like, man, you've been holding out, and it's like I haven't even been holding out. I'm just unimpressed.
That's fair. I mean, I do appreciate the transparency that you've provided to a lot of artists, because you brought up that Rock Nation meeting that you had, and I had a similar meeting with Rock Nation. Didn't get it quite as far as you, but with my artists, and then I've heard 2 or 3 other people say similar shit. And what people don't know, you could just take the name Rock Nation out of it, because I got homies over there. Any label, that's the conversation that's happening.
Yeah.
It is, the terms are always against you. Like,
for the man,
it's very tough. It's very tough to.
I've yet to get a deal from a major that made me feel great. I've yet to get an offer from a major.
How many offers have you gotten if you had to, throw a number out? North of 15? North of 10 for sure?
I'd say about 10, 7 to 10.
I mean, that's about all of them.
Right.
That's about all of them.
It's, man, and they're never impressive. They're never impressive. It's like, I don't know, they just don't get it. They lack the ability to understand what's coming and what's next or what's happening. And I'm someone who they got terms in the contract. Like, man, the last contract we got, we was all in the airport and we was reading through it, and I was putting like T and Splash on game. This is what this mean. This is what this mean. And it's a lot of shit in the contract that's like for a developing artist and shit. And it's like, y'all don't even take the time and the due diligence to make a contract based on who you're doing business with.
Yeah, like you guys didn't even, like, this is a standard deal that you're going to offer 10 other people. At the very least, let me read something in here that makes you think, bro, like, oh, they're offering LaRussell a deal.
Bro, I had a deal that wanted to take, I think it was 16 or 18% of my entertainment income. And I was just
and
like,
then what does that mean? Like, how do they even define that?
All
right?
money's from entertainment. So
your
all
live
money's
shows,
from entertainment.
which is crazy.
But not live show, entertainment. More so it's like if you end up doing like award TV. Yeah, right. Anything you make in the entertainment field. And it's like, I've been making money in entertainment way before a nigga didn't offer me a deal. So it's like, to come and tell someone you want a percent of that is just like unjustifiable for what you intend to provide. Like, I've already broken myself as an artist, and this next year is finna go even crazier. I've been cracking more codes where it's like, oh, nigga, it's up.
There's even deals where labels will want a piece of, if you start a clothing line while you're signed.
Yep.
That they can somehow figure out was from the music. They want a piece of it. This just happened to a friend of mine who has
revenue.
My boy's got a really big clothing line. I mean, it's huge. He had signed a deal probably 2012, 2013. And there was actually a discussion that he might have to give up some of his clothing line.
Yeah. And I understand some of the terms for an artist that you take from nothing, who like no one knows this nigga, and all of a sudden everyone.
Those people aren't getting deals though.
They're getting three. They are.
Are they?
They just getting three. They're getting it. It's an all-encompassing deal because they're making your brand. But to take a nigga who's coming in, who's already selling out shows and selling tickets and selling stock, and say, "Oh, we want this," it's just like, you're fucking insane. So you don't even have an artist on your roster that's at the level that I'm at, but you want those things.
So there are situations in which you could see a 360 deal benefiting an artist.
I think a 360 deal is hyper beneficial if you're a businessman. Like, because every artist don't have streaming. But some of us, I did $500,000 on my own shows last year, not counting outside performances. Right. I do $500,000 on merch. So if you're able to leverage those things in exchange for capital outside of the streaming, I don't think that's a bad deal. I think that's a great, if you go partner with anyone and you say, hey, I love your business, I want a percent, I'll put all this money up, that's not a bad thing. That's what every fucking startup company, tech company does. I think it's a bad thing when it's like, when you don't give a nigga the amount of funds to actually build it or the infrastructure and resource to actually build it, and you're just going to take it, it's different. It's a little more. It's a little off-putting. Right. Or if it's someone who's already established all this shit and you're not giving them the means of capital to excel it, but you want to take it, it's just like, bro, you got to contribute to get out of that shit.
I heard, did you ever see the Leor Cohen interview? He explained the 360 deal.
Yeah.
So he kind of explained it as, if you and I start a restaurant together and I'm the investor, and you start taking the sauce that's popping and selling it at Walmart, do I get a piece of the sauce? And I understood it from that angle. And like you said, like if you're an artist who doesn't have a cult following, doesn't have a brand, doesn't really have anything going, maybe a little TikTok moment, maybe it is worth it.
It makes so much sense
to dive into the machine, because you'll get on the other side of that deal eventually.
And it'll help you recoup faster. Mm-hmm. It'll help because product sells way faster than music, right?
Yeah.
So you'll be able to recoup and be out your situation way faster if it aligns. Like I said, if someone's helping you build all those revenues, like if you don't have a merch business going and someone says, oh, I'll help you make $1 million in merch. Yeah, I think they should have a percent.
If you're
But
doing
to do
zero,
that shit standard for every nigga that comes in this office, you just offer it to them. It's like some of my issues with some of the deals I got is like, I'll give a proposal and they'll ask what I want and I'll get the contract back and it's a bunch of shit that we didn't even discuss. It's like you don't just throw something in a nigga contract without
it's like a
asking
political bill.
someone.
Like they be like, yo, they be trying to throw so much shit into these bills that are supposed to be about something else, and you be like really reading, like, wait, what? We're fucking what?
Right.
No, that's some real shit. It's crazy because I do feel like, if there's anybody who can kind of lead a real change and renaissance into how this is thought of, I think it's you, man, because I'm seeing it. I saw Curtis King post his shit from Even. Right. What is Even?
So Even is an all-encompassing platform. Eventually it's going to grow to an artist hub.
Are you a part of it? Or you?
Yeah, I have equity in.
Okay, so you have equity in Even.
Yeah,
because I've been seeing people post their
the very first launch of
fuck
Even
your
was
Spotify recaps. This is what I did.
Right,
you know what
hilarious. I mean? Yeah, man. Even is an all-encompassing platform for artists. Like we just give artists the ability to monetize and sell their music if they don't have their own situation. Some artists don't have a Shopify setup or just want to have a website and all that shit. It even makes it easy for the fans to come support and buy your music directly from you.
What's the play? So my whole thing with the third party shit, right, is we're so conditioned to play music on certain apps. So if I buy an album on Even,
it's set up just like Spotify. It's an in-app streaming.
So I'll download the Even app on my phone, right? So if I
it's web-based. It's web-based, so it's not.
So that's what y'all got to figure out.
Eventually, it'll.
Y'all got to get the app because that's for fan experience purposes,
right?
That's what you want. You want to be able to be like, oh, cool, I got my Even library of all the shit I've supported.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to just press play.
And I believe he built it web-based based off like data that people were still kind of going online for specific
That's got to be the next thing.
And it's like Even was really built from the dirt a year ago. Like I just did the very first launch last year when I did 100,000 on the album. That was the first anybody's heard of it in existence. And I campaigned the whole Proud to Pay offer. But like this shit was built from the dirt. And in 1 year we've gotten Omarion's and Dizzy Wrights and a bunch of major labels are on board and now. Like the majors are going to Even so they can run their upcoming artists through it.
I wonder, like, because I feel like if I was an up and coming artist, I would want to have that option. Like, is that going to get worked into my deal? Where like, yo, if I want to be able to, you guys might get a cut of this, but I want to be able to sell my shit.
Right.
For maybe the first week.
I mean, a lot of artists, see, when you're going into the major system, it's so different. Because it's very hard to sell music that you don't own.
It is. Straight up. Very hard. Yeah. You got to ask permission.
Right.
Yo, can you give me some insight on like how influential Nipsey has been? Because Nipsey was kind of the first guy to do the Proud to Pay
pioneer.
thing, right?
Man,
he is a pioneer in so many ways.
Nipsey is the reason I decided to start doing Proud to Pay. And I feel like I revolutionized it another tier by doing offer base. So I started with Proud to Pay. I was riding my bike and I was like thinking about Nip's $100 album. And I was like, man, how can I do this but in a way that's conducive to my people? Because I didn't know too many niggas who would pay $100 for an album. So I was like, I'm just gonna let niggas pay whatever.
Pay what you want.
Because if I make $1 over zero, then I won.
Yeah.
Right. So I started doing pay what you want, and I ended up doing a live show that was pay what you want, and I made less than I projected, but I noticed that people don't want to pay a certain amount at the door because there's hella people around. So typically some niggas would give me a rack 100, but you don't want to do that at the door with people behind you. So I end up creating offer base. And when I started doing my backyard, I was like, let's start doing offer base because I can't set a ticket price on this experience. Like you came to the backyard.
It was
we had shows
crazy.
with Sada there and different people come out. So it's like,
you guys
how
had
can I
Simba
say
pull up
this?
too, right?
Man, I can't say this a $20 ticket, a $5 ticket, $30. None of that makes sense to me. So I'm like, You tell me what you think this experience is worth, and all I could do is say yes or no for this one. You feel me? And
was it hard to figure out the back end of the offer based thing? Because I've never seen like any website offer something where you could
was new. The technology was completely new. Like I got with my partner Ibrima. He created a ticketing site called What's TBA that just sold regular tickets. And when I came, I was like, man, I got this idea. I need to build a tech behind it so I could do my shows a certain way. And we just started this last year. Like I said, I did $500,000 on What's TBA offer based shows last year.
I think that's the future. If you're smart,
man, it's the present and going for exactly you, especially when you have a real live show and a real live experience and something like me where
and
you get to holler at me and talk to me and I'm around. Like when you know what it, eventually it gets to the point where people stop offering you low. Like people are just like, I know what I'm getting and I know what this shit is worth and what it means to me.
Yeah, like if certain artists who are like a certain level end up taking that and running with it, it's gone.
Clean up. I
even think of like a guy like, you always hear a couple of names, Drake, Kendrick, like if they ever decided to go independent, it would break the music industry.
Clean up.
Like if Drake decided to be
clean up. Nigga, the labels are pissing their pants.
He would break the music industry forever.
Yeah.
I mean, right now there's a lot of slow work towards that.
They know that, which is why they're okay running him $250 million and plus, because they know like he's responsible for saving the industry at a specific time, so they know.
Yeah, like and I think of guys like The Weeknd, like The Weeknd's team, his infrastructure that isn't the label, just his team is so on point. I'm like, yo, at what point can the label do anything but write you a fucking check?
That's eventually it gets to that point, and I honestly and truly feel like I'm getting to that point now. Like after this run I'm about to have in 2024, at this point it's not much they could do, but it's even now the offers I get is like, y'all gotta, you can only run a check, and which you should want to. When you see a nigga already got a business completely established and built, all you want to do is get a cut because you don't have to do nothing.
You don't have to do anything.
It's
they
like
built
if I came to you and said, "Oh, you got a pizza spot? Let me just give you some bread and give me a percent every
definitely
month."
Not,
that's a win.
Definitely don't have a pizza spot officially, publicly, but maybe soon. It'll be announced on my Instagram.
That was like a random, know.
I do have a nightclub that's very successful in Scottsdale.
I seen that. Yeah.
Shout out to my business partners. Perfect example.
Hey, man.
We try to get people to invest. It's just three of us. And everybody who said no within the first month were like, hey, can we get in? And I'm like, fuck no.
Right.
Like, once we had Cardi B and Meek Mill and everybody's like, yo, man, look, if you guys still need a second phase of money, I'm like, nah, we're good now. Like,
everybody don't see it.
And that is the main thing I think that you're a testament of, bro, is because these conversations I'm telling you about that I've had with people, they don't see it and they don't get it, and they're oblivious to, like, all you got to do is see it. That's all. And people are, if you believe in what you're doing and you're sure of it, and you got good people around you who aren't yes men, fuck if somebody who don't, like, fuck what some A&R thinks. Fuck what some label executive thinks. Like,
man,
make them see your vision.
It'd be tough. Because,
and that's easier said than done.
Right?
That's easier said than done.
Man, it's tough to stay down. Because you get offered these sums and you want to go, but you really got to stick to, like...
And you got to have a work ethic. The other thing is, major label might be for you if you're lazy.
Yeah. I think the majors...
Because your work ethic is insane.
I think the majors are necessary because there are some artists that are just insanely talented, but they don't have the care or desire to do all the other shit to make sure the world
get their hands
hears
really
it. So
dirty.
I think the labels are necessary. Even for a nigga like me, like if we find the right label with the right deal, I'm gone because I'm already gone. It's like I'm not on a major and I'm on every major platform and niggas know
it's got to be the right deal though.
That's it.
What up, y'all? Bootleg Kev here. Shout out to our family at Imperial Extraction. Listen, right now, a free 2-gram pre-roll of that za, of that loud, of that gas can get right to to your door, delivered for free. Now, this is what's dope about Imperial. Let me tell you, man. The thing about Imperial is they got 16 years of experience when it comes to this West Coast cannabis space. And recently, they just got into the hemp scene. Now, what is the hemp scene? That means that it's legal. It's going to get delivered right to your door. Federally legal. It ships to your door. No issues. And this is what also is dope about it. It's still going to get you high. It's going to get you blown just like that traditional cannabis. It's that THCA. Look, they got so much stuff going on. This is the THCP Enhanced Live Resin. You can get your carts there. They got all the flavors. Boom, boom. Most importantly, whatever you do, Imperial, make sure you go to their website because, look, imperialextraction.com. If you go to that website and you use that promo code BOOTLEG, you're going to get hooked up with a free 2 gram pre-roll right now. imperialextraction.com. Get yourself. I've been smoking these for about 3 weeks now, and man, I love them. And they definitely get me elevated, man. And this is what's dope about these. Let me show y'all just real quick. If you guys don't know, Imperial Extraction, let's pop one open because this is what's getting delivered to your house for free. Remember, imperialextraction.com, promo code BOOTLEG at checkout. Look at that thing, man. It's a 2 gram pre-roll with the glass tip, premium THCA, and it's got the diamond-infused joints. And you bust this thing open, there's little diamonds in there, bruh. It's crazy, all right? It comes with 1.5 grams of that top shelf flower, 0.5 gram of the pure THCA diamonds, and it's free. Yeah. So go to the promo code BOOTLEG at imperialextraction.com, and trust me when I say you will not regret it. Shout out to Imperial Extraction. Also want to give a shout out to our good folks at Blue Chew. That's right. Salute to the family at Blue Chew. Make sure you head on over to bluechew.com. Use that promo code BOOTLEG right now. If you don't know, Blue Chew's where it's at. They're getting you situated real nicely when it comes to your penis, your Johnson, your cock. Ugh, that's a weird way to... Who says cock? I don't know. Nonetheless, if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, if you're dealing with a little anxiety, a little stress, and you're not up to par when it comes to performance, look, you need to put your best step forward when it comes to your dick game. You know what I'm saying? So what you need to do is go to bluechew.com, use the promo code BOOTLEG right now. They're going to give you a month's supply for free. Now, if you're watching this, you don't know about Blue Chew, let me explain. Same exact active ingredient as Viagra and Cialis in a chewable form, delivered to your door discreetly. Yes, no doctor's appointments, none of that. It's all online. You don't have to worry about going and sitting in an office and waiting to go get your dick pills. No. Listen, by the way, these aren't dick pills. This is a chewable. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be clear. There's a difference. This is much better. BlueChew.com, promo code BOOTLEG. Month supply for free, delivered to your door discreetly, all online. That's what we're doing, man. Same active ingredient as Viagra and Cialis, man. Get your dick right, all right? Let's get back to the interview. You did do a one-off with Russ,
yep,
which I thought was awesome. We talked about this a bit in the vlog we did when I went to your house. For people who don't know, who didn't see that vlog, you did a one deal album with Russ. You were still dropping tons and tons and tons because Russ is the most artist-friendly guy ever, and he just wanted to be down, you know?
Yep.
But he had gone on his tour, and he had offered you to come and open on the tour, and you turned that down.
Yeah.
Most people would hear that. I think me and Hovain talked about it when it happened. God rest Hovain's soul. Rest in peace to my brother. Most people would love to go on a tour with Russ and open up because he's doing like arenas and like amphitheaters and stuff. At that moment, because this was 2-3 years ago.
2021.
So yeah, so this was 2 years ago. Yeah,
2022. Yeah,
this was the Snow Globe album.
Yep.
Yeah, most people would jump at that opportunity. I know why you didn't do it. I kind of want you to explain because you've built so much since then. But I want you to explain why you passed on that opportunity.
Man, it would have took me away from home, and I was building something I really, really, really believed in at home. And I knew
the
that
pergola.
Yeah, you know, and I knew the opportunity to go on tour would circle back. And I didn't really want to go on tour and get a salary. Like I could go do shows and make my own paper, so I really just wanted to stay home and build. And I ended up building the backyard residency in the pergola, and that shit ended up making me 10x what I would have generated on that tour. And new fans, new media, new everything. You feel me? So I'm happy I stayed home. It was
because you would have got new fans that way, but I don't know if you would have gotten the amount of like super engaged fans that you got by just doing your own thing.
And the cultural, like it just the backyard is different
for
like,
sure.
You know, like the backyard is different, and what I'm doing in terms of culture, like you go in my comments and you see the Busta Rhymes and the OGs in there because they know what's up. Like we ain't seen hip hop look like this in a minute.
And I think one of the last times you might have saw it look like this probably was in your area. I feel like when I think of independent shit, I think of Texas, I think of No Limit, and I think of the Bay. Out the trunk. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Is your house, because this is your family's house. This is the house that you grew up in. At what point in time does your fame, does your home become inhabitable because of how popular you are? Because for people who don't know, your house is it's in a normal neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's no like crazy. There's no security.
Right.
It's just your house.
Right.
This is a normal house that you grew up in Vallejo, California.
Exactly.
There's a stage in the backyard. Your parents are there. You got to get to a point where you're gonna end up moving out of the house or getting the parents out of there, renting it out, or has it not gotten there yet?
I doubt. I mean, we don't know how big it's gonna be yet. Drake hasn't came to the backyard just yet. You know, when Drake and
but
Shaq
as of right now,
no, we good. Man, my house is protected, and it's like I'm really from where I'm from. Like this is my home. I walk every day around the block, and everybody like. I'm from there. I hoop there. I play tennis. My daughter, we like. Yeah. I'm home.
No, I know. I get it. But like, again, if once you get to a certain point, you're just gonna have random people flying to the Bay and being like, "Yo, let's go drive by LaRussell's house and see."
Yeah,
if he's there.
We had a nigga come in from Buffalo, and it was his first time ever been on the plane, and he was like, "Man, I just had to come see it and see if it was real." So yeah, it's like.
Did he knock on the door?
No, he just kind of drove past and said. I think he ended up messaging us because he had brought like some merch, and I went outside and I hollered at him, and I was like, "Man, this isn't okay, but I fuck with you." When I see it, I get it, I understand, like. Man, I'm a human, and I know how it feel to have somebody that really changed your life. Like, this man was in his 30s, and it was his first time ever getting on a flight because he was like, I have to go to that backyard.
And that's a fucking crazy flight. Buffalo.
That's it.
There's no direct flight.
You don't.
There's no direct flight. You had a layover.
You feel me? So I understand that energy. And when I was growing up in a V, I never seen nobody famous. Like, I never seen anyone who made it where I was like, I get to witness. You know, I didn't get that experience. So when I be mobbing around and I'm outside, like, I get it. I understand.
Crocs endorsement happen yet?
It's on the way.
They got it, man.
It's on the way. Right?
Hey, are you still hanging on to Android? You are, huh?
Yeah, come on, man.
This guy.
It's on the way.
This guy got
man. It's on the way.
Yo, Samsung fucking... Take care of this guy.
Right.
He's got the green bubbles all day.
Right. And it's real.
So I wanted to ask you because I'd love to see a couple of things. One, I think we have a mutual friend who I talked to today. Is one of my closest friends in the music industry, Simba, who I love dearly. And, he's in the major label machine, as he is. So I don't know how easy or hard or difficult it is for you guys to drop a real project together. But I've heard that being floated around. I feel like when I think about the two guys, not just in the Bay, I'm talking about just music period, where I'm just like, man, we're in good hands. It's you and him at the top of that list. Was that something you guys have talked about, or is that something that...
Not really. Not really. We don't need... Me and Simba, Hell of a Feeling is like our first song together. Like, we worked on some shit prior, but it wasn't nothing we both loved. Right. But Hell of a Feeling was our first track together. We never really, anytime we link, we don't do music. Like, we really hang and chop it up, or he'll come to the backyard and we rap. Like, man, that's the dope thing about, like, bro, I fuck with niggas. You got to be human with me. For sure. Like Coney is one of my best friends, and it's like we don't even do music together. We just rap and hang and chill and talk about life.
I think Simba too has got an understanding of a lot of things out like that are at a high level that most artists don't, in terms of like branding, in terms of like how he speaks, in terms of like when he goes on platforms. I think sometimes he'll approach an interview like it's an album.
Yeah. Simba's smarter than a lot of a lot of the niggas in the game. Like, he's just more strategic and calculated. He understands.
What about you doing an album, nothing but P-Lo beats?
It's coming.
Okay.
We are, me and P-Lo been talking about that for the past 2 years. So yeah, that
has to happen,
right?
Because dog, listen, you over just P-Lo beats for a whole project,
right?
And then
that's gonna be a moment too for the home team, man.
And that'll shut up some of the Bay Area gatekeepers.
Nah, that won't even shut them up. There's nothing that could shut them up. It's like I made Baggage Claim, and the whole world, that shit was going viral for months, 10s, 20, like. That nothing to shut them up. That just doesn't happen. I've reached 1 million followers independently, and I've never bought a follower.
That's beautiful.
There is nothing that could shut these people up because they don't know nothing. I don't buy streams. Everything I have organic, authentic growth.
Are you still so for people who don't know, who maybe are just heard you watching this, you have a situation with your albums where, well, one, what I love that you do is you take care of your team. So if someone shoots a video, if you do a full project with your producer, you're cutting the team in on the equity on the album, right? Are you still doing that in terms of like fans being able to say, man, I want to get a cut?
We sell stock every month.
And is that stock? Walk me behind the business behind that, because for people who don't know, there is a platform that's called DistroKid, right? Where you're able to upload your music and then split the music, which is an easy way for you to pay featured artists, writers, producers, management, whatever, right? So are you distributing the stock? It gets purchased, and then do you go in on, is it DistroKid?
I don't use DistroKid anymore. Like the technical capability wasn't there for the level that I was doing it at. So I currently use Command Shift NVIDIA, and I heard of
NVIDIA.
I just started rocking with 2 Loss as well. I like their back end.
Yeah, I heard NVIDIA is dope.
Yeah, NVIDIA is great. Command Shift's great.
These are distro companies that are similar to like TuneCore.
These are distribution companies,
and they have the same type of technology, but at a larger scale.
Man,
in terms of splits.
that been my thing. Like, man, there's other dealings that we were trying to do, but it didn't align because they didn't have a split system. And to me, it's like, if I can't split the money and control my own back end and see where my shit going and when I want to pay somebody, that's a red flag. It just doesn't.
It's also, if you don't have the split system set up and you're a distro company, TuneCore had to do it. Right?
Eventually, right? TuneCore didn't do it for a long time.
They didn't do it for a long time. They had to do it.
They understood.
That's like, well, shit. I mean, bro, shout out to DistroKid because they changed the game for real.
When you're a distro and you don't have one, you're encouraging people to steal money from other collaborators and artists.
Yeah, because you might not even want to do it on purpose, especially because there's different angles of that. But let's say you're an artist. Just the idea of like maybe you have management that's supposed to handle the splits, and it's just things get lost in the wind. If you could just set up the splits and it's just locked in.
Man, I just started using 2 Losses portal recently, and I got to go holler at them because they got it set up to where you submit the release, then you enter the split. And I'm just going to tell them the same thing. Like, you're going to encourage people to be able to monetize their art before they start paying their collaborators. Like, you shouldn't be able to submit the release until everybody is kind of accounted for.
And because not you, not me, but a lot of artists, a lot of people, it's like human nature that like once you see that money come in, you're like, eh.
Boy, it's tough.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you just set up the splits from the jump, then whatever money you're getting is the money you're getting.
That's all you need. Exactly.
And then you're like, cool. You know what I mean? But if you get the whole pie and you're like, yeah, some people are inclined to be a little cheaper.
Right.
Right.
Naturally, that's a human thing.
You don't do necessarily touring. You do shows.
Yeah, I do one-off shows.
Sometimes you'll just pop up and be like, I have a show today at 2 p.m.
So, man, that's what's special about this year coming up, because I'm doing touring in a non-traditional way. I'm doing residencies in different cities. So during the, spring and winter, we're going to be in venues. And then when the summer come, I'm finding different backyards in each of these cities where we could do our thing still.
Any LA?
LA is on the list.
LA's on the list.
LA is on the list.
So when you're going to do a residency in a city, how many shows in the year? How many shows per city? Let's say LA. What do we do? 4 or 5? 3?
Yeah, like 6.
6? Okay.
Yep.
You just need to find a spot.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
This is the way people shout out to promoters. But why would you pay a promoter if you could promote yourself? Just rent the venue.
Because a lot of niggas can't promote themselves, and a lot of niggas don't even promote their own shows.
This is true. They're really worried about social media aesthetic.
Right. They don't want to look a certain way.
Hey, bro, that is the biggest pet peeve I have with artists when they're so worried about the aesthetic of how their page looks that they won't even promote their own shit.
Right.
That happens.
And it just kind of it's
much.
like, bro, you probably don't love what you made. Like, if you don't want to tell people, hey, I made this shit, you probably don't really enjoy what you made.
You have a great team. You guys have come up with a system in terms of the way you will repurpose content.
Yeah.
Like if you go do an interview, if you go, this will be repurposed to time.
Right. Hey, you see your clips for the next 6-7 months.
Whether it's a freestyle or, you guys will shoot a backyard performance that ends up, living on your IG, on YouTube Shorts, whatever. But you guys have a real on-purpose method of how you schedule your post every day, what kind of post it is, what time of day you post. Break that down, because I think if people saw the way you run your content, it's very inspiring, and I think you just don't have to be late. Like, if you're not lazy, like, there's like,
right.
You just got to keep on throwing shots into the algorithm, right? Like,
man, we're just curating a channel. So I remember when we first started, I had a bunch of live sessions already because we used to do the Good Company live sessions. So I was posting hella those. And then I started doing interviews. So I'm like, all right, now we need to integrate interviews, and then we started doing shows, and let's integrate show footage, and then like now we'll have like real life moments. Like I'm just hooping. Like the other day, I shot the ball from the roof, and it's like, okay, that's integrated. Those 4 different types of content, so you can see me 4 times a day in a different way. So you're able to become a fan in a different facet, and posting every few hours. It's just like, if you have it, and we toned it back. Like, we used to have so much, and me and Tieta sat, and I was like, all right, now let's hone it down. Let's only post the pieces that we like. Man, this made me feel
people have to
good,
see this,
right?
Yeah.
And then we got to that point, and it was like, okay, now let's lock it down even more. Only post the one that we look at each other.
Well, because at a certain point in time, was it 4 or 5 times a day?
Yeah, like 5 or 6.
Because I do think like there's a couple of things like everyone will have an excuse why they don't have content to shoot. And I don't buy it anymore, because I got homies who are making 6 figures in their life off of their phone, off of whatever app,
just chilling.
But you do have a team. You have T who helps you. You have a team at this point.
Yep.
But it wasn't always like that, right? But for you, what is like the practical solution for an artist who has 2,000 monthly listeners, who just is putting out records, trying to follow? I think a lot of artists will see the path you take, the path Russ takes, the path that a lot of artists take in terms of throwing up shots, and they kind of feel like it's just not working. At a certain point in time, the music has to be good.
Right.
People have to buy into you. At a certain point in time,
and
there has to be that
be my thing with the industry when niggas be talking about all the hit in the music, because I'm like, you think I got to 1 million followers organically if I don't have? You think these niggas come to my backyard
and
sold
sing
out
all the lyrics
every single time and sing every lyric without the music? They don't know the lyrics to your artist song.
Right.
We don't know what the fuck he's saying.
But I was going to say the practicality of like that struggling up and coming artist who, when they think of content, it breaks their brain. Right. And they think of like, because a lot of people, you have to be good at Instagram. You have to be good at like for whatever reason, like people can respect it or not respect it. It's a talent to like really understand how to cut up a piece of content.
For some, there's so many different routes you could take, though. I was telling T the other day, I love Boozy and Lil Duval and like Charleston White, because they don't do content in a traditional way. It's just them being themselves. Gilly is one of those where he has content, but he's also, a lot of his posts are just him.
It's just him pulling his phone out, screaming about the Eagles in front of a TV.
If you don't have the ethic to figure it out, it's just not for you. Just keep making excuses and complaining. It's just not for you. If
do something else.
There's so many. You can go shoot visualizers. We've had visualizers go viral. A visualizer is like a music video, but short form. Basically, I'll write out a whole music video treatment, and I just pick one scene and be like, all right, let's shoot this and put the song on it. That shit, Cali Bearden went viral a few times. Outstanding doing numbers.
There's an artist.
We'll do those.
Have you seen this guy, Anise?
Yeah. Yep.
He's so good at.
Right.
I mean, I've seen him promote the same song for like over a year
times.
in different ways. He might be sitting at a tennis court singing a song. He might be on the.
Bro, if you take one song and you do a live performance, one with your instrumental, one with a guitarist, one with a pianist, you got 3 different pieces of content and one might go. Then you can start doing specialty shit. Go outside and record your shit. Do it live. Like, it's just so many things you could do for a nigga to be like, I don't know what to do. It's like, you're not trying.
You're not trying. And you're scared
of how
that it's not going to work.
That too, right?
People are scared. Well, what happens if I throw something up and it makes me
crazy
look crazy? Because social media is transparency. So if you throw something up and it don't do well, people will see, and your insecurities will prevent you from getting over that hump. You got to do it.
Failure is data.
Yeah.
You're not going to make every single shot you take.
Mm-hmm. Bootleg Kev here. Hey, shout out to King Palm, man. We want to show them some love. Listen, I feel like enlightened recently since we've been working with King Palm, man. The cleanest smoke, organic, all natural, no tobacco. And this is what's dope about King Palm is they have these terpene-infused tips. And what I love about them is whatever flavor you're into, like these are the Red Rain energy drink flavors. I'm a big energy drink guy, right? So you stuff what you need in these bad boys. Hit that tip, you're going to get hit with a nice shock of flavor. Boom. That's the pink lemonade. Also, these are the natural boys. But I'm going to show you what it looks like rolled up, all right? Let's take a peek in here. We got the King Palm boys here. This is what we're doing, all right? Now, if you go to kingpalm.com, it is the holiday season. You want to take care of somebody you love. You want to take care of yourself. You deserve to be taken care of. Yo, 50% off right now. Use that promo code BOOTLEG. It's either 50 or 40%. Fuck. I probably should know that. I think it's 50, though. Either way, it's 50 or 40. Bootleg, kingpalm.com. Or, go to 7-Eleven. They got them at there. Any of your smoke shops in your hood, whatever it is, wherever you're at, pull up to your smoke shop, get you some King Palm. One more time, organic. Flavor, no tobacco. It's lit. Also, can we show some love to our family at Hardin? Man, shout out to Hardin, man. Look, if you're in Vegas, you got to pull up. You got to say, take me to Hardin right now. I need to go to Hardin. They're going to take you. They're going to get you situated. Hardin, Las Vegas, the best cannabis dispensary I've ever walked into in my life. The most craziest selection of premium cannabis in the entire world. I mean, that place smells like God's sweat. It just smells so good in there. It's just, they got their own scent. They're our family too, man. So make sure you follow them online, Hardin_Las Vegas, all right? Shoot them a follow on Instagram. Also go to HardinLasVegas.com. And when you're in Vegas, make sure you pull up to Hardin, baby. And I always tell people too, you can upload new reels, like you could re-upload reels, but not have it on your feed. Mm-hmm. Just throw it back into the system.
Right.
So it pops up. So music-wise, we know what you're doing in the new year. I mean, you're always working on new albums. They're coming out all the time. What's coming next? Man,
we got a project with Link Up coming. I'm finna drop before the year close. That'll be album number 30. And then I just did some incredible songs with this producer named Mike G. From Chicago. That shit coming. I got shit with Dot. I'm always making music like that. That's my passion. I love to make music, so I don't think I'm ever not gonna be dropping.
Would you ever sell your catalog? Like people are selling their catalogs.
I wouldn't.
It's a thing, people are getting bags.
Yeah, people do. I personally wouldn't.
Would you ever sell a piece of it for the right price?
Nah, I license it though, but I wouldn't.
Like say somebody
I'd rather just build new homes with people. Like, and that's been something I've been running into with like trying to do deals with labels or distros because they all want your catalog. And I'm like, no, I spent years building my own shit and marketing, putting my own money. You're not getting my catalog, but I will build new homes with you. We could do 25, 30, 50 new things, but you're not going to get all the work I've spent doing for the last 4 years.
Yeah, that's real. So that is something, for you, it's just a matter of like, if you ever were to go down that major label rabbit hole, it's got to be the right deal. It's got to be a fair deal.
And I notice, I wouldn't sell my catalog either because I own my catalog. I notice a lot of artists that do sell their catalog and they publishing, they only own
a slither,
a portion of it.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, yeah, I'd sell 10% of something, but I own my entire
What is your
catalog.
do you do Song Trust, or where's your pub through? Do you do any sort of?
I use Cobalt now, but I
Okay.
started with Song Trust, and everybody could go get a Song Trust. They were doing my first publishing admin. I'm with ASCAP, and then Song Trust did my administration, and I ended up doing a deal with Cobalt last year.
Oh, that's fire.
Right? And they admin they shit. I like just going into their portal and looking at the numbers and how far that shit reach. It's incredible.
You somehow have broken through a ceiling that at times as a Bay Area artist feels impossible to penetrate.
Bro, it's a new peak.
In terms of like the media you do, the attention you're getting, there's so many Bay Area artists that I love, that are my friends, that we love, that we're fans of. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even LA has that ceiling. Maybe it's a little, LA's LA, but there always feels like in the Bay, there's so many dope artists that you kind of have to be from like a part of the country to know about,
Right.
And
I think it's the level of investment and marketing that we're willing to put into our work. I haven't met too many artists from the region who does content in the way that we do content, or spend like what I spend on ads and marketing and on seed, and like what I spend having a tour and invest and building a live show, building a venue. Like, it's just the lack of infrastructure. Like, all of our blueprints is independent, right?
Yeah.
And that independence has always had some sort of ceiling when it comes to like mainstream. We don't get the same media and the same looks. Like, man, shit just did. You have to really invest. Like, you have to invest the same way a major would. Like, when I get contracts, their marketing budgets, I already spent that shit. You feel me? It's like, you're not giving me nothing I haven't done for myself.
Right.
But a lot of artists who are indie coming up, they're not willing to spend that amount or put their money where it needs to go.
they'll buy a belt.
Right? And that's all artists, not even universal to the region. Niggas will buy drugs.
That's period. It's like, yo, fam.
Yeah,
and they'll fuck their producer over.
The amount of niggas spend on drugs in a month, if you put that shit into ads and seeding, you'll probably grow 2-3x.
The most frustrating shit is, because, I manage producers, and we'll do like, for example, Cyrus over here. Recently, he did he mixed and mastered a record, right, for a friend who will remain nameless. Now, this friend that will remain nameless, he's a good friend. This guy flaunts, like he's got, he's doing really well. But for whatever reason, could not square my man up. I won't say how much he charged him, but he charged him an extremely low amount because he's a friend. But for whatever reason,
boy.
And to me, this happens with producers, videographers, photographers. It's like, fam, if you could go buy the chunky, ugly Balenciaga shoes, you could pay for the beat.
Bro, if you could sit in a picture like this with the racks, you could break a nigga
break
off
some
who
bread
helped.
to your videographer.
You could break a nigga off who helped.
Step your visuals
You
up.
could break a nigga off who helped.
Nah, like reinvest in your craft.
But I feel like those things have to be taught. My pops was a hustler who invested in his craft and taught.
Your dad's a hell of a cook, man. I was fucking up.
You feel me? Like, you have to be taught those things. A lot of niggas get money and they're never taught. That's your first time having money. Like, if you're an artist from the block and you come out, nigga, this your first time having paper. That shit change you and make you feel different. You don't have the awareness and information necessary to go do all that shit, especially if you end up going to a label. Like, man, if some niggas be so fucked up because they assigned really early, and then once they get out of that label, it's like you stuck because you didn't really build any infrastructure, and then you didn't sit down with the people to get the information. So
you didn't use your advance in a way that could set up something post-label.
Right? And it's like, it's not an easy thing to do. Like, you have to know where to, bruh, still to this day, like, I just recently found out some new shit with the ads, and we've been... Well, I've been
Facebook, Instagram,
TikTok.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to TikTok. You know what's crazy is just on a content creator aspect, like people will frown on Facebook and Snapchat because they think the shit is out. Bro, they pay better. Snapchat pays. I have a Snapchat show now where they just take our interview clips. This guy in the UK, and bro, it pays way better than YouTube. Snapchat.
Right.
I haven't had Snapchat on my phone in 4 years.
Right.
Facebook too.
They like, we finna stop paying that nigga. He's like, I actively use Snapchat every day.
But for you, are you noticing? So you're noticing because for a while there, bang for your buck wise, Facebook was still great. You're noticing that you could do TikTok ads?
Man, I think all of them are great in terms of ads, bang for your buck. Like here, let me show you. I look at this shit.
I'd like to point out, I did shame him, but I also have an Android. I have both. This one has a pen I can sign things with.
Right.
What is that, an S23?
I got a signal here. So look, this is the past 7 days, right? This on TikTok. 700,000 views.
Wow.
4,000 followers, 74,000 likes, right?
You hit the promote.
That's the past 7 days, right? So I go to the dashboard. Spent 4,200. Got on 700,000 views. 4,000 new followers, right? So 4,000 new followers.
That's a great turn.
4,000 new followers. I spent $4,000, right? Out of these 4,000 people, if throughout the year I just get them to spend $50 with me, I made $200K. If you follow LaRussell and become a fan, the least you gonna spend with a nigga is $25. So no matter what, I'm paying $1.
You're investing that money because those new fans are coming in. They're gonna break bread with you.
I could sell a gold card, 2 gold cards a month, and I made back my ad spend.
What is the gold card that you're talking about?
Yeah, so gold cards I launched at the end of 2021, and it's basically like the first artist membership subscription. If you got a gold card, you can come to any LaRussell show that I throw for free. Like,
so you get in. How much is a gold card? Like a rack?
It's offer based.
Oh, offer based. So if like somebody, can you tell us the most you've
I've gotten for a gold card? 5 racks.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, that's a lifetime of shows. I'm finna be doing arenas in a year, 2 years.
People can come with
bro, niggas who got gold cards, they like, I'm out here. You feel me? Like the backyard shows, I do so many a year. Gold card members get to come for like the backyard shows sell out. You can't get in. If you got a gold card, you ain't even got to think about it. When I start the LA residency, any city I'm in, if you have one, you in there and you don't have to worry about nothing. It come with a +1, like, bruh.
I love that.
And you get random shares and songs. Like I just go through the list sometimes when I drop albums and send percentages to just random niggas who bought gold cards from me.
Has there been an artist that has reached out to you for some advice that is somebody who people would think you maybe, not a peer, somebody who's, so you've seen a lot of these big rappers, superstar rappers complaining about their situations, like a Meek Mill, like a YG. Like, has anybody ever reached out to you just in the DMs and been like, man, like showing you some love
not really any major artist has really tapped in to be like, yo, could you assist with this? But a lot of the indies coming up tap in, and I mean, like, yeah, not really too many of the major guys, but some of the people coming out of the major system that's having to go back in indie and shit like that. Like, man, I feel like the major artists are like hyper prideful anyway. Like
they are,
say when you mention LaRussell,
also they're probably
like
they're probably very paranoid. Someone's gonna screenshot a fucking DM, end up on academics,
right?
Whatever it is. I was gonna ask you, for you, what is if somebody is wanting to get involved on Even, right? What would be your advice on how the rollout should go down? Should it be DSPs even at the same time? Do you do Even first? I know it's not a one size fits all, but if based on what you've experienced.
Me personally, I like to do Even first, and I like to package my music with perks.
Okay.
So like, if you buy albums I do all offer based. You can pay whatever you want, but I tier it out. So if you pay between a certain amount, that might come with this. If you pay this amount, it might come with a CD. If you pay this amount, it might come with a vinyl. You pay this, it might come with a gold card. Like, I like to give people an incentive to support me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like to go to Even first before it even.
How long will you have it exclusively on Even before?
Like a week or 2 weeks.
Okay, that's dope. Shout out to you know who's doing a great job selling their music and treating it like art pieces do you know who Mock Hami is? Mm-mm. So he's a guy who dropped an album He's like OG Buffalo Griselda guy. He dropped in. I don't even know if he's from Buffalo, but he treats his albums like art pieces, bro. So like you have to buy the vinyl, but there's only like 1,000 of them, and like that's it. But some of these vinyls go for like
that's a wave I'm about to go to.
So 2 Chainz did a most expensive shit. You know, he has that show, and he met with some vinyl collectors. And this guy pulled out this Makami album, I think that was going for like 10 grand or something. And it's crazy because you hadn't heard of him and 2 Chainz hadn't heard of him. And the only reason I had heard of him is because he dropped a dope album with Griselda a couple years ago. But then I started to dive into like his business model. He doesn't have an Instagram. He has a fan page that like he don't run.
Right.
But it's this small community where like the music is so exclusive and the vinyl's so extravagant.
Right.
It looks so beautiful, and it's like, and he's killing it.
I fuck with that wave. Like I'm about to move to that point too. Like I used to sell microphones. After I do a big show, I sign the microphone and I auction it off to the fans. And I've sold microphones for a crazy amount. And I just like giving the fans collectible things. Like we got Omaha cassette tape, collectible things, because I know I'm going to be as big as wherever the fuck is the biggest one day, and now they get to make paper off some shit that they got for supporting early. Like, man, when the streaming side really kick and everyone who got percentages and royalties in our shit,
they're gonna be like, oh shit,
man.
Have you ever had any chats with a dude named Kasky? White boy rapper Kasky used to be on Cash Money.
Cash Money Kasky. No, I haven't hollered at him.
He's doing a really good job of building up his independent, but he's just did the second version of his $100 mixtape. And the first time he made 100 grand in a day. You know? And he's doing the second one, and
can't beat it. Especially if you got a dedicated diehard following. It's like people want to support you.
And you're gonna get this super fucking sick. You're gonna get it on CD, but you're also gonna get like this extravagant I think the first time he did a cool USB, but you know, if you're sitting on music, his whole thing is like, I don't know where these songs are gonna go because I record so much, but they're all fire. So here's 30 records for $100. Once they're sold out, they're fucking sold out.
That's hard.
And all of his fans from the first time honored not uploading any of them because he's like, yo, people could upload them on YouTube if they want, but like I'm asking everybody not to, and they still haven't hit the internet.
Niggas.
So it's dope, man. Well, shit, I'm super proud of you, bro. It's dope to see everything you're doing.
Mutual.
I think you're, like I said, bro, I think you're kind of changing. You're changing the game, bro.
I feel like you caught me at the same time I caught you going into like that indie grind and building that phase, and it's been dope to see the parallel. And you still you. That's the beautiful part. Like I could still text a call, or I mean, shit,
you hit me like 4 hours ago. Like I just landed in LA. Let's do something. I'm like, I was so far away. I was like, I'll make it happen.
Come on.
Yeah. So listen, man, go support everything this guy does. There's so many ways they can support you.
Whichever way you find that works the best for you, go do that. If it's streaming, if it's if it's through a live show, whatever works for you, do that.
You real quick, I want you to give some game to up and coming producers, because you do work closely with certain producers. Tope's here, who's from Portland. What would be the game you'd give to a producer who's got heat but just doesn't? I mean, the producer game to me is as an outsider, it was kind of an insight. It's just a discouraging thing. Right. It's almost like being a graphic designer or a photographer. It's like, fuck, man, like super underappreciated. You're underpaid. People take advantage of you. Man. There's people who chase placements. There's the YouTube type beats. But if you were a producer, what would be the game you would give a producer to attack the music industry from your approach?
Work horizontally and build something. Don't chase anything. Just work horizontal. Find the niggas you love that's around you, that's in your city, and just go build with them and talk about the splits and just get your royalties. Eventually you get to a point where you got 60, 70, 80 songs all giving you this percentage coming in, and you getting your publishing, and you don't have to go rely on the industry to get you a bag. Or one of those artists you work with that you believe in is going to blow up. And you're going to benefit from that, whether they take care of you or not. You're going to a rising tide lifts all boats.
I mean, if you look at a lot of the big name guys, they started with one person. Right. Mustard with YG. You know what I'm saying? Like even the homie Six with Logic. Like
that's all you got to do. Yeah. Like find someone you love and just pour into them. Man, Tope, Me and Tobe been working since 2020. None of this shit existed. I had like 4,000 followers, and now a nigga at 1 million, and we go to the world, and you feel me? Like he found something early and invested in it, and now he gets ROI on that investment, and that's the way to go. You ain't never got to chase nothing. Just find the things you love and help cultivate it.
There it is, man. LaRussell. We're about to do a freestyle. You guys can watch separate YouTube video. Everybody, make sure you check him in 2024, whatever city. How many different cities? Have you planned it out, or do you just kind of... We know LA is one of them.
Yeah, we starting quarterly.
I got a spot in AZ for you if you want to do Phoenix. I got a place.
We actually do. Phoenix is up
I got
there.
a venue out there.
Yeah.
A real dope venue. Shout out to AZ Way Too Active. They're a dope platform in Arizona. They built a cool little venue. And
yeah, man, it's going to be dope next year, too, because, like I said, it's just new. Like, niggas don't do residencies no more. And one day I just had a thought. I was like, man, back in the days, like, if you want to go see, like, a Billie Holiday, there used to be, like, a club that you go to, and she performing there for so many nights. Even comedians, they go repeat the same comedy club over and over and new people.
Sometimes we do 3 shows in a night.
That's what I'm on. That's what I want to
And I like you because you do afternoon shows, man. I'd be too tired and washed.
We going home because the grannies, my demographic is different. I got grandmothers and children. They not trying to be out at 9,
I love
10,
like the 2, 3 p.m. show. I'm like, oh, this is what I like.
Right?
Right?
It's new. It'll spoil you.
Yeah.
Because then you got to go to another show and it's like, I'm tired.
Every time there's a concert, I'm like, ugh. Like, do I really? Have I already seen them? Are they my friend?
Right.
Even if they're my friend, how mad will they be if I don't go?
It'd be rough. It'd be rough.
Like recently I went and saw SZA and I did not regret it. I was like, I love SZA. I was like, you know what? I got to go see SZA.
Bro, we got to build new standards and new norms. Like, that doesn't have to be the thing, but we've just been so conditioned to do it that way. And I'm trying to break all them barriers.
Boom, my guy. Appreciate you. Russell, go follow him. Go support him. Stream the music. Buy a shirt. Buy a hoodie.
Sheesh.
Boom. Appreciate you guys watching. Hey, this interview was brought to you by Odd Socks, baby. The holidays are here, and the people who you love deserve the fly socks, the most comfortable socks in the world. Oh, these Scarface socks. Oh, look at these things. Look at these Top Ramen socks. What are we talking about? Whatever you're into, WWE, Scarface, The Godfather, fucking Transformers, Power Rangers, Ghostbusters, Breaking Bad, Coca-Cola. Hello. You know what I mean? They got the socks for them, and they are the most comfortable socks in the world. Get some Odd Socks basics on your feet and thank me later. OddSocksOfficial.com. Use the promo code Bootleg. Save 20% off at checkout for the holiday season. Appreciate y'all watching.